Welcome to the match preview / tactics talk for Middlesbrough versus Leicester away. Sam, not the greatest game last week against Leeds.
Yeah, tough one to take. I think we all knew it would be a difficult game, and they came and had a game plan, pressed high on the ball, made us make mistakes at the back, and it cost us in the end. But you can't win them all. Lapse in judgment. We played a game that was tough. I don't think we did well. If you're being honest, I think we made too many mistakes that I predicted before the match that were going to happen. If they're going to be high pressing us, and we shouldn't be passing it around the back. And we did say, where are the changes? Where we're losing 1-0, 15 minutes to go. We need to make a bit more progressive changes. We only did 2 subs. I've heard a few people say it was a bit like Rodgers' ball, and I think Maresca's got a new challenge. He's a fairly new manager to the football scene. He's been around it, but he's not been a manager for that long. So he's bound to make mistakes, and I think it's a good place for him to progress himself forward. He played a tough team, Leeds, and I think he showed that maybe some of his tactics aren't, always going to solidify against better teams. So hopefully he changes that for Middlesbrough, really, because we know that they're on a massive win streak and they're on the upwards. So it's going to be a very tough place to try and get anything out of that Middlesbrough.
Yeah, like I say, they're in form. And like I say, going back to the Leeds game, it was a tough one because we knew it was going to be hard. We knew they were going to come and attack us. It wasn't going to be a game where we're going to have the ball completely. I thought we were going to have the majority of the ball, and I'm pretty sure the stats showed that we did have most of the ball. But when they were on the attack, you could see they were going to score most of the time.
Yeah,
so
we knew Leeds would be a tough one. I think we're going to be a lot better away from home this season. So luckily for you, you're going to see a lot more entertaining games. I think you go to all the away ones, and you also go to all the home ones. But I think you're going to see a lot more of an entertaining style of football away because we can manage our game style better, and teams will have to attack us a little bit more. But against Leeds, they attacked us fairly well at home, and I don't think we were expecting it. So, it is what it is, but, we move on in Middlesbrough. Big game now on Saturday.
Yeah, no worries. Right, let's get straight into it.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes, Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, straight into the team.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had them in the last few games. I'm just going to put him straight back in.
Yeah,
There's just no point even talking about him, is it really?
No, he is the number 1 scorer this season, even though he's number 30. He's the first choice you put in goal. I think we were discussing earlier, really, why is he actually number 30 and not number 1?
Yeah, Danny Ward's still at the club somehow. He's not going to get another game for Leicester. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah. Jacob has shown that he's going to be the backup keeper in the cup games. So.
I think he's looked fairly solid. Against Leeds, some of the back passing, again, not good, where he's passing it and they lose the ball. He has been told to do that, but I don't think it's been very good. I am seeing a few comments really about Cassidy, and I think we'll get onto that because I have some strong opinions about him.
That's why I've not mentioned him yet until we get into it. But...
So I agree. Hermanson in goal has been very solid. Backline again. I thought that it was okay. I felt like some of the players made some big mistakes that did cost us. I thought Justin did not have a good game, if I'm being honest with you. But players are allowed an off day, so for me the back 3 stays the same as it did against Leeds. So Vestergaard in the middle, Fies on the right and Justin on the left. I can see Cody coming in potentially for Fies or Justin, but I think for now this is the best defence we have.
I think if Cody comes back in, there's only one spot he kind of has to take.
Because
of how his style is and whatnot. I think he has to be in that central role. And when Vestergaard is out, whenever he gets booked and he gets a game out, that's where Cody will come in. I just can't see him fitting into the Faze or Justin role because of how the system and play works.
Yeah, I think that team's fairly solid. They've been fairly consistent all season. Again, some mistakes on Friday night. Sorry, that did cost us, but we have to move on. Middlesbrough is a very tough game, and I just hope that they come out strong. And if they don't, I hope we see some changes.
Yeah, I'm going to put my team in again, and it's just the same. We don't want to be very consistent on what we pick. We know what the starting 11 is basically going to be, but I think it's more about the personal kind of touching ideas of what we want to see instead of what we think we will probably see in the games. But like I say, I think most players have deserved to be playing where they're playing at the moment. Faze, I think, has been decent majority of the time. Maybe just have a bit of a lash or a bit of a thing in him that probably makes him lose the ball a bit more, but it is what it is. I do think he's probably one of our best defenders still, though. And we will move straight into midfield, Sam, as we do get back to our team.
Yeah.
Any change?
Yeah, I don't think there is. I think it's Winks again. There's been it'll be over a week of rest for the players, and I think they're going to be raring to get on again after a loss they don't like. You can imagine after being on a massive win streak, they're not going to want to, lose again. They want to get back up and win because they all of them will be a massive achievement if they do win the Premier League. The Championship. Jesus,
yeah,
not
don't take Premier League. Yeah,
to get the sour taste out of the mouth, especially from a few of those players like Pereira and Pies who stayed here, maybe not by choice, but again, it's good for them that if they do stick around and help us get up, clearly better quality than what they are. So I think they're all good. They all going to want it. I think Maresca's definitely going to want to push them. So again, this is for me the best back five we can have, / midfield. Yeah. And I think you're going to agree as well.
Yeah, I think again with how they've been playing, other than the Leeds game, which we probably would say no one really had the best of games.
No.
Even Winks, you'd probably agree that he was.
Everyone's a little bit invisible against Leeds.
Yeah,
I think that on the day Leeds were better, and that just happened. I mean, it was Copenhagen last night being Manchester United, and on paper, Manchester United should be the team that's miles ahead of them. But Copenhagen wanted it more, and hence why they won. It's just one of those things. Not every team's as good as the paper says. We beat Man City a couple of seasons ago, and a team with Man City who wins the treble, no one should be in them, but it happens.
Yeah, completely agree. Before we get to the attack, Sam, does anyone, and this is a question for you, does anyone in on the bench or anyone who we maybe bring in January, do they somehow take these spots? Because at the moment, we're picking basically the back five every single time we do these shows.
Yeah.
Does anyone come in and maybe take anyone's spots?
I think once Doyle's fit, once he comes back from injury, I know he's out for quite a long time, so whether he does come back into teams, another question, because he is early on loan and he's probably out for his tenure at Leicester. I can't see him maybe waking his way back into the team, because I think they said 6-7 months out, so that's pretty much his whole loan spell done already. It's a shame, but I don't see anyone. I can see in January, in a couple of months' time after Christmas, that we sell some players quite easily. I think you might see the likes of Suter, Daka be sold for cheap. I've even said this, and I'm putting it out there, I could see us selling Vestergaard, depending on how comfortable we are in the league.
Well, he is out.
Well, that's my reason.
So you want to try and get some money.
He's out of contract.
He's been he's shown his quality now in this level.
He's out of contract,
and maybe someone in the Premier League,
summer,
maybe showing someone lower in the Premier League.
He's out of contract in the summer, so for my reasoning, I think that we will sell. We could sell Vestergaard if we're walking away with it. I know it's a long way,
and you've got someone as Cody's backup. It's just like you might.
I could see Vestergaard being sold. And I know people say why if he's doing great, but for me, if he's doing good, the club, again, you got to think they're a business. They're not just a football club. Their main priority is making money.
What's his worth right now? How we've been playing?
Maybe 3 or 4 million, if that.
But that's, it's better than no.
It's better than nothing, but it depends what the club wants to do. If they think Cody's a good enough option, which he more than likely really should be in the Championship, let's be honest. But again, that's another topic, really. I'm sure when the Christmas parties and celebrations have ended, we will talk January 1st.
Yes, exactly.
Who's going and who's staying? Because I can imagine it being a busy January for the club.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming in for a certain player, but we will keep it quiet until then, because there's a lot of people saying it. We will go back into his comments as well soon. Chester says he is a long lad with little experience in the first team. he's been poor, but we need to trust him to improve.
So this is all about Cassidy.
Yeah, but I think there's a few players that you'd probably put on that as well. About there's certain players in the squad that are quite young. Like say, FaZe is quite young still, isn't he?
No, not really. I think mid 25, 26.
Oh, okay. Well, like I say, it is probably mostly about Cassidy, but I think there is, for me, there's still a few players that come in. Like
I don't think youth
Fatawu
has
as well.
anything to do with it. You could say Cassidy's young, but I think McAteer's younger, and look what he did.
Fatawu, he's doing
Fatawu's
great,
younger.
and he's young. So, like I say, we'll get back to him in a minute.
I just don't think he's amazing player. I've heard a lot of people say that when he got signed for Chelsea, saying it's a waste of money because he's not a good player. Mm-hmm. He is young, and sometimes he might become good. But from what I've seen so far, he's a bang average player for us, if that.
Yeah. As we move back into the teams, then, so what are you going to go? Are you going to go wide or are you going to go central first?
I'll do wide. I think it's fairly straightforward who's wide. Mavididi has, I think he's had some decent game time. Barlow, I think he's played fairly well. Don't put him in just yet. Because I'm not sure if he goes into the team. I think he's been playing well. I was pretty upset by him, to be honest, after the Leeds game. By the way, I don't know if he'd been told to play the way he did in the second half. I thought he had an amazing first half. I think he was in the team of the week. But watching it live, the amount of times he'd swing the ball across to the left side, it annoyed me a bit because he had the amount of times to take on the play that was already on a booking.
Exactly.
So
first half, he was rinsing his player.
I think he's great. He reminds me a bit of Jeff Schlupp in a weird way, where I know it's weird. Jeff Schlupp was great at doing everything but putting the ball in the net. So I am going to put Fatawu in. I think he has been better option. Okay. And McAteer, I think, will come into the team at some point. But I do like Fatawu. Don't get me wrong. I think he's really good. I think he just needs to maybe have a bit more of a football brain, I think
that's the problem. It's because he's young.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love how he only wants to go forward, and we saw that against QPR. As much as it was a tough game, he obviously got the red card. He got the player who was against got red carded. He got the guy who was playing against Leeds yellow carded. He wants to get forward and he wants to do stuff that we've probably not seen since Mahrez. So
don't get me wrong. Like I say, he's a great player. He's been doing very well for us so far, and I do think if he carries on this, we should sign him if we go up. I think it'll be a good rotation player for us in the Premier League. I will move some players around. Cassidy, when we can move on to him now, really, unless you want to put your wings in
I'll put mine first. Again, I think there's only one option on the wing. I think this is where, when we do talk about the summer signings and stuff.
Madidi,
yeah, and when we do talk about summer signings, I think this is where you have to start improving or getting a bit more competition in certain positions because, like I said, you've got a lot of midfielders. We did have until a lot of players got injured. We had a lot of defenders. Now we've barely got any cover for most positions other than maybe centre back with someone like Suter or Cody in the back line. And then you've obviously got Albrighton on the wing.
I think we're doing okay. Again, all of these players are fairly equipped for the Championship.
Yeah,
if we got promoted, again, there would need to be a big shape around of how we approach the Premier League if we want to stay up, which of course you do want to stay up.
Yeah, and I'm going to probably agree with you. As much as, like I say, someone like McAteer is coming back into the fold, I think Fatawu, to be honest, both of the wings, I honestly think...
I'm going to make
I think Fatawu's been better than Mavididi in a way. That's just me, but I honestly do think that he's been better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make I'm going to make a different change.
Go on then.
So left central attacking midfielder, Dewsbury again, player of the season for us, player of the season for the league so far. I'm going to mention it every time because Reedy thinks he's not been as good. But Dewsbury again, solid. When he finds a space, I could go on about him. He's a great player. He's been doing great for us in this league.
I have watched a video about how Leicester have done this season. I was doing obviously with stats and stuff, and he's on the line with the best midfielder in the Championship. So you can't disagree.
Yeah, I mean he should be. He's been a very good player. He was decent in the Premier League. Just needs a little bit better management. And again, the Leeds game, no one did anything. So it's hard to say who gets dropped because I don't think anyone deserves it apart from one person, which is Cassidy, who does get dropped for me.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Again, he reminds me of Slimani. He looks like a headless chicken when he runs around. He's so clumpy in the way he runs.
Yeah.
And he loses the ball. He doesn't do anything with it. For me, I just don't understand really how he's made it this far.
Okay,
Because if I'm being honest with you, I don't see why. I just don't see how he really is a footballer. If I'm being honest.
Let's just see how many people agree with you. So we've got the Facebook users definitely not Cassidy from the question I asked on the title of the show. David says, as long as Cassidy don't start, I'll be happy with the same lineup.
I think we're all in the same
Curtis
boat.
Knott says Cassidy needs to be dropped. And obviously Curtis also says Cody to come in for Vestergaard if that's the case. David also says his age isn't the problem, Cassidy. He's just slow and not a box-to-box midfielder. Again, he doesn't seem to be equipped with how fast-paced the game is.
I am going to throw this out here. I would argue I would rather have Samari than Cassidy in that position. And I know that I'm not Samari's biggest fan, but Samari was definitely offering a lot more than what Cassidy's been offering.
Don't get me wrong. For me, Cassidy's got the strength. But other than that,
I don't think he does. He gets bullied off the ball so easily. He's like a 6'3" attacking midfielder.
But that's what I'm saying. He has got the strength. He just doesn't use it.
I just don't think he's an amazing player at the moment in his career. I think he's getting bullied way too easily.
I think we were shown a bit of light to say that he was a good player because he came from Chelsea. He's a youngster. And
but people were saying when he had a season at Reading last season, they said he wasn't a good player for them. A lot of Reading fans said he was. I mean, Reading got relegated. What does that say? He was in a team that got relegated.
Yeah.
And anyway, McAteer. That's who's my position. I'm putting McAteer in.
Okay, I'm just going to put my Dewsbury all in first.
Because I think if it's not McAteer, it should be Atgun. I don't think Cassidy should be near the team. I know McAteer's back fit. I don't know where Atgun is in his fitness stage. Obviously, we've not seen a feature, but for me, because we've seen McAteer come back from injury and play a few minutes, he does get the nod in, and I think he'll be a decent attacking option. Again, he scored 5 goals already. And I wouldn't drop Fatawi, so it's either McAteer or Fatawi on the right or in the middle, but those two... Like
I say, there's no other option if Cassidy gets dropped. It'll be, even though they're out of position as such, because obviously McAteer is more of a winger, but you'd rather have him in to create more attacks than
I'd rather have
somebody in that position who suits that position better, if you know what I mean.
I don't know if he does.
No, he doesn't. But what I'm saying is that's his role.
That is his role, and
he still can't do it.
So for me, McAteer should go into there. I think he's played fairly decently.
Yeah,
I mean, he scored 5 goals.
And I will put my hand up and say that I did call this last time, and you said you didn't do that.
Well, I said Atgun. I said one of the two.
Yes. I will take the same thing as you. I think we're actually going to go for a 4 of the same team, unless the strikers are different. But I will go with...
It's weird with the strikers because it's 50-50, because neither of them are really bouncing off the walls at the moment.
No, you're right.
I'm looking forward to Tom Cannon coming in and fit into the team.
Yeah. I think
I know that he's back in training.
That's going to come back in as a lot as well when.
Yeah, there's no point putting him in the first team because I don't think without playing he's going to go right in the deep end. I think he'll come on as a sub.
Mm-hmm.
As far as strikers go, it could be anyone. I flip a coin and that's my choice.
We'll say it again. We'll both say the same name at the same time. Hopefully, we might be different. I don't know, but we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Vardy.
Wow. Okay, I was going to go Kelechi.
I'm going to stick with Vardy in there because again, I think he just offers more on the pitch from the start than Kel does, and I think Kel offers more when he comes on as a sub. I think between both of them, they're better players when they come on as subs. But I think I agree. I think Vardy's the better choice.
Both players do a lot more and a lot better when they do come on. But from what I saw with Vardy, I think as much as I was like saying so much good stuff about him the last few months and whatnot, against Leeds, one of the biggest fixtures, he looks invisible.
So did Iheanacho when everyone wasn't having a good game. Iheanacho was invisible when he came on. I think for me, Vardy against Middlesbrough, just start him if he's not. It's tough because they're both the same type of player at the moment where they're not really bouncing off the walls, like I said, scoring all the goals. That's coming from midfield and the wings. So for me, I think Vardy is just a little bit better. I think he's got a little bit more than Iheanacho does to offer, and it's been a week, so it's definitely going to be fit.
So again, like you said, it's a flip of the coin, isn't it? We don't know. Yeah. It all depends on what Enzo thinks style-wise against us.
They're both not.
They're both not the same style of player.
Yeah, they're both not doing enough really to be who do we pick?
The main man. Yeah.
So this is why I'm looking forward to Tom Cannon coming in, because I do think we need to have a striker who's bagging goals in. And don't get me wrong, Perot from Leeds, we should have signed him.
Probably.
We should have took him. Again, the asking price was
15 million.
Was not a lot. So
yeah, I
would have took him. I know we went for Cannon in the end, but I'm surprised we went for Cannon with his injury.
Yeah,
but
Greg Bowser.
I wouldn't start Tom Cannon. One, I don't know if he's fit, and two, even if he is fit, I don't think he's going to start against.
I think he's back on the training ground, but I don't think he's
even if he is fit, I don't think he should start just because he needs minutes and
he's going to be like the Daka. When we first bought Daka, we slowly integrated him into the team, and then by the end of the year, he was playing quite a few games. So, and that's probably the same when the African Cup of Nations come in. That's where Kel goes. That's where Daka goes.
Yeah.
So that's where Vardy and Cannon will do the swap like Kel and Vardy are doing right now. So that's what it's going to be. Curtis says, I'd say KDH and McAteer or Hamza over Cassidy. I thought Hamza did quite well in that. Obviously, he went deeper and put Ricardo higher up.
I don't mind putting Hamza in, but that is a defensive choice. For me, if you put Hamza in and push Ricardo up, that's setting up for defense.
I don't know, because I honestly, when Ricardo went into that more attacking role, I actually thought we played better with him in there than we have done with Cassidy.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
That's what's mental.
It's not hard.
Playing a right back in a cam role, and
it's. I don't think it's hard to be better, but for me, I wouldn't start. I wouldn't start.
You wouldn't start.
I wouldn't start Hamza.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In over those, I think we need to be more attacking minded because we're very good at attacking, but when we get to the final third, we lose a little bit of our oomph because no one has a shot.
The last comment of the day, Mike says, do the opposite with Cannon, what they did with Daka. Basically just make his career go to shit. By not playing him and then basically playing him and not playing well at all. But there you go, guys. Again, like I said, look, if you see the teams, what we've picked for Middlesbrough on Saturday. Sam, score prediction before we do finish.
Middlesbrough, very tough game. How many have they won in a row now?
They've won 3 in the last 5. They've lost 1 and drew 1 in the last 5 as well.
I think we're going to bounce back. I think we need a big performance. I think we're not going to go off scotch-free. I think it's going to be very tight. I'm going to say 1-0.
Scotch-free.
Scot-free, scotch-free, same thing. It's lunchtime. I'm thinking of food already.
Yes, we are thinking of food.
I'm going to say 1-0 to us. I think we're going to scrape a decent win. And yeah, hopefully we don't concede, but I do think it'll be a 1-goal scoreline win.
Yeah, I agree. I think I went for a 2-1 on Jamie's show a few days ago, so I'll stick with that, and we'll see you all on the next show. See you in a bit, guys.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit LeicesterFanTV.com for all the latest news, views and videos.